And let's start off with this developing story. Director of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Kwame Owusu, has denied all corruption allegations leveled against him. He, however, confirms that an amount of 135,125 was spent at the staff end-of-year party, but was quick to add that the number of people these monies were spent on was more than the figures put out in the public.
Issue with regard to Ghana Maritime Authority approving 8 people to have a lunch or dinner or whatever for 10,600. This document, as you see and has been posted in the social media, have circled the 8 people. So the rest of the world is talking about how can 8 people or participants eat 10,000. We are here to prove this is a mischief. In the original document that we have on file, which a copy was sent, and we have responded, we had a message from the social media and nobody other than some big TV stations, and also Ghana were posting that Maritime Authority management in crisis to respond to 10,000 allegations. That is another mischief. On the record and for the record, the amount of money and meetings that took place, that is backed by our records in the file, that has all the things that is supported for those who want to come and see it. The original is here. And there is no 8 participants. So the person who gave or stole the documents was only doing it as a matter of mischief. And the most important thing that I would like to put across of you, the media, is that if nothing at all, it says that for the cost of food supply to authority during the management meetings and stakeholders meetings on maritime security fees and charges at the head office. I think any academician would know that it cannot be 8 participants. And it is interesting that management team has been put on some platforms and TV stations, and we are about 17 people. Even 8 people will not form a quorum for us to even go ahead to have a meeting. Let aside that stakeholders meetings to discuss fees and charges in the maritime will not be 8 people. Anybody who has been in journalism, who has been going out would know and can come and find out, even if you cannot speak to the Director General, to be able to do your own investigation to ask how many people do form some of these meetings, other than going out and keep on circling 8 people just to disturb the general public, just to make the Director General and his people look bad. We would like to also respond to the issue of the authority having $135,000 cities for end of year party. It is true. There was 115,000 of the cost of the food for 500 people. It is in management records. Whoever is available will tell you when management committee was set up. Some people have gone out of their way to state there were only 100 people. Less than 100 people. Please, please, please. I would like to bring to your attention that we have 200 workers. We had met and estimated that there will be at least a partner, a child, a girlfriend, or a wife. That will make it 400. We also took into consideration the invitation of various stakeholders, ministers of state, ministries, MPs, Parliamentary Select Committee, and other stakeholders. So we budgeted for additional 100. 500 people were contracted, and that is what the food was supposed to be. In any case, assuming the person who said he saw less than 100 people, which I think he ought to be ashamed of himself or herself, if you go to order a food and people show up or don't show up, that food is cooked and it ought to be charged. Including this cost is also the cost of decoration, tables and things, the music, the DJs, and all those people cost was allocated for the person who was supposed to supply this to be able to make the affair a very successful one. And by the way, the authority was so excited because since its inception, this is the only year that they've had end of year party. So you can imagine. The excitement, and people wanted to make it big. It was there. And so I wanted you to understand that this authority is not here to manufacture numbers to the benefit of the Director General when there's a committee that goes out to do procurement process, which are headed by administrations and the rest, and I'll tell them, put the money for me, please. Please, that is below the belt. We have done that, and we fed enough people. It included drinks, which was selected by the authority, all hard liquors, the beers, minerals, whatever have you. And that was dictated by the authority to be included in the cost. The management committee monitored that, and they did that to bring it to a successful end. That is the issue with regard to the 135,000 food.
Kwame Owusu there is the Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority. Does that bring clarity to the matter on this over bloated budget? We'll definitely get some more answers and reactions.